I am saying that right. Pokimane? People say Pokimane, but isn't your name pronounced Iman?
My name is Iman, so it's the second half of the name, I-M-A-N-E. So it's meant to be like Pokemon, kind of like the game Pokemon. But I totally understand it reads as Pokimane. So when people say that, I don't correct them. Also, I don't want to catch a Nintendo lawsuit, so I'm like, I'll go with Pokimane, sure. That's fine.
Nintendo, please.
That's so crazy that she could have been known as Pokemon, and no one calls her that. Chat, let's call her Pokemon.
Please don't sue.
Thank you.
The rumor.
There is constant media surrounding your every single move.
Oh, jeez.
There's thousands of articles about you, at least one every single day.
The only time I do know about those articles is when my mom or family members bring it up to me. I heard that you were permanently banned from Twitch.
Dude, the Streamer Awards got an Apple article, and my family texted me, and they're like, why didn't XQC win? And I was like, bro, how? Like, what? These are normies, by the way. I don't know.
I heard that you're quitting. I heard this and that. I'm like, Mama, you're getting clickbaited.
I have some article headlines here that are very spicy. So I'm gonna read the headline, and then I want you to tell me what was actually going on.
I'll do my best, because on God, sometimes I read things and I'm like, I did that.
Pokimane breaks down while explaining why she needs to live on a farm.
Pokey does
Did you have a
live on a
breakdown?
farm. I've said that about her. Zara, thank you for the Prime.
Did you have a mental breakdown because you need to live on a farm?
I feel bad trapping my cat.
Shashish, thank you for the sub. And Tragic Chromio, thank you for the Prime.
Cats indoors. And I'm like,
Jesus. Demur, thank you for the Prime. All the primers out. Oh, that's because it's 7:36. At 7:35, did you know your Prime actually resets? So even though maybe you thought you used yours, you should check real quick. I bet it just reset at 7:35. Because that's when it resets every day on this month. You might as well check and use it so it doesn't go to waste. And it'd be convenient if you used it here, but you could use it somewhere else. But you could also use it here if you wanted. Just like Win Cheesky. Your Prime just became available at 7:35. That's so convenient that you happen to be here at 7:36. Oh my God. Oh, Boxing Liz, you used an actual sub. You're supposed to use your Prime. Serial
they
things.
deserve to be free, but within confinement so they don't die. Right. So my dream is like to have a farm where they can just roam around, but within, you know, like a fenced area. I do attempt to make a funny every now and then. My poor cats, they just sleep on my couch. You know, like I won't actually break down.
Twitch star Pokimane reveals stunning condition which would have forced her to retire earlier.
What is it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. What do you mean?
She said if it wasn't for the influx of female viewers, female streamers, and just more diverse community members, I think I likely would have retired from streaming this year.
They made it sound like a disease.
I thought you had a
Bill,
disease.
thank you for the 3 months.
I was thinking of like pivoting away, but now that I see so many more female viewers, people of color, like different minorities, it makes me feel like it's becoming more inclusive. But I don't think that's that kind of a condition.
Pokimane addresses rumors of her doing cocaine on stream.
That one is real, not the
dude. I think that's so funny. Lauren, thank you for the 2 months. Like Pokey fake doing cocaine on stream and people believing it and holding it against her. That's totally because she's like supposed to be this PG streamer. I could fake do cocaine and you guys would be like, that was funny. Hollis, thank you for the 3 months. I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that she got shit for that. We literally smoke weed here every day. Because Snoop Dogg is our God and Jesus and Savior. I think that's crazy that she got that.
Cocaine, but I did address it. I am very far away from substances. Not in a judgmental way, it's just, you know, not my thing. I kid you not. 6 years ago.
Wait, how old are you?
19. And I was playing around with these candies, and one of them was like a white powder, so I like jokingly cut it up into like haha, you know, like live. And this only circulated after that like Gideon drama thing where like random people were like, oh my God, look at her doing drugs. And I'm like, this is literally something I broadcasted as a joke 6 years ago.
Yeah, and Train does it every day.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, just like playing around with candy.
Yeah. Dang.
Anyways, I did address
I'll
that.
do coke right now, chat. Try to stop me.
And the negativity that you face online isn't just confined to specific moments. You've had entire smear campaigns built around you.
Sadly, yeah. Or at least it's felt that way.
Yeah.
But that's just what happens when hating you is profitable. So
Yeah.
obviously people will look to
Wait,
profit.
hating Poki is profitable? We have got to change my background to something else. We'll change this picture. Set as desktop background. Perfect. Wait. Oh, that's still okay. What about this one? Set as desktop background. Just change that really quick. Oh, freak. Okay. Set as desktop background. Oh my god. Okay, any other photo. Come on. Set as desktop background. Okay, maybe this one. Set as desktop background. I've got to have another picture, guys. I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. This is absurd. I don't know what's happening. Ugh. Well, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. We'll just keep it like this, I guess.
Honestly, even for them, they're just doing what produces a successful result in a sense.
Yeah.
Even if it's at my mental health's expense.
There was one big thing that you dealt with where there was a photo of you and someone took a screenshot of a very specific moment from that video. They were like, let's all attack Poki for this.
Prior to that no makeup stream, I had done like 3. So when I did,
This is what's crazy. The fact that she has that guys, no matter what Poki posts, you will see someone in the comments with the screenshot of her wearing no makeup and they're like, you fake ass bitch. What?
did it, I really didn't think much of it, but there was a split second where people screenshotted and I looked particularly not pleasing. But you know, that's human beings. Like, put us in bad lighting, didn't sleep well, your hair's a mess, you're gonna look not that nice. But the irony of the fact that that has been used against—
It is so ironic because the whole point of her doing that stream was to be like, hey, like, I'm not doing a makeup stream. Like, I look good without makeup. I look natural. And then people like, Lamau, get fucked. We hate you. Like,
against me so much is that, like, throughout
Big
that
B's sake for
stream,
the 3 months.
I spoke about how I feel like online there are so many unrealistic beauty standards and not enough people kind of dismantling
Yeah,
that.
that's so
Within that
sad.
stream, you talked about that?
Yeah.
And then they did the exact same thing?
I intentionally had my hair like really messy, like did not look cute, and I'm like, yeah, and then I'm gonna make myself look cute.
I don't know, not with me though. I look this perfect all the time, but go on.
We can't all be you. Okay?
And you've had it brought
So
up
lame.
constantly for 3.5 years?
I mean, it's kind of like any time the incels come around.
Oh.
That's their bread and butter. They're like, look,
heck, you didn't back
you're ugly.
See, we proved it!
And I'm like, sweetie, I know I live with myself. I've never had an issue with the way that I look without makeup. Why do you think I was so comfortable putting myself out on stream like that?
When that first came out, were you affected by it at all when people started attacking for that screenshot?
I felt very confused. I grew up in like
that's
the
what's
YouTube
crazy.
beauty era.
Yeah.
You see people like at the beginning with zero makeup, like they look very different than the end product, which is fine.
That's part
And
of the draw.
So when I saw people online making a big deal out of it, I was like, that's weird. However, I noticed that long term, whether you like it or not, when something is like thrown at you and people are like, this is a bad thing, it will seep into your subconscious a little bit. I noticed myself catching myself. If I had like hair similar to how it was in that photo, or the lighting was like that and I wasn't wearing makeup, and I would like remember that picture and it would make me feel kind of bad.
Sad.
Were you ever tempted to change yourself to reflect the positive things people said about you, or to try to negate the negative things that people were saying about you?
When it comes to social media, I feel like we are kind of all being trained to...
You could say brainwashed.
I actually kind of prefer the word trained because it's like, when you see something performs better than something else, you feel this desire to do more of that. But what if that's not really reflective of who you are or who you want to be, and you're really just responding to what other people like?
You were trained to see yourself in a negative light.
I started sensing like, oh, like why do I feel weird when I see myself like this? Oh, it's because so many people have told me that like this is a bad thing.
Were you tempted to change
Yeah,
your
it's so sad.
looks, your behavior?
I intentionally don't in those moments. The alternative would lead me down a bad route, which is like, okay, maybe
I'm happy that I don't know how to do makeup. That way I can stream without makeup all the time and you guys can't be like, wow, cutie, you look sick today or you look stupid today. I just never wear makeup, and then when I do wear makeup, you guys are like, cutie, you look great today. It's the opposite.
I'm fixing this moment temporarily so that I feel better about myself, but I'm doing this to appease others.
Considering you stream for so many hours, is it kind of running through your head like, this could be taken out of context, this could be taken out of context?
I felt that pressure a lot, and initially it was like, should I be super careful about everything that I do? But then you're essentially putting yourself in a very small box, and that is not fun. Literally anything can be taken out of context. Every time I wear my hair curly, like so many people come out of the woodworks like, you requested my opinion on this, didn't you? I want you to know that I prefer your hair when you wear it like this.
Someone implied that you were doing blackface because you allowed your hair to be natural.
They just don't know that I'm Moroccan and Morocco is in Africa, so that's just my natural hair. If anything, throughout my life, I've done the opposite. I've like chemically straightened my hair.
Yo, chemically straightened team, what's up?
Happy to say though, like me wearing my hair curly naturally was probably one of the things that I received the most positive feedback about. And the thing is, that was like one guy who said it. And then
I don't know how she does that. I don't know. Her hair is so freaking curly.
people write it in articles because those are like very sensational. And then because people will write articles on this one comment, the people who read the articles will think that that is a larger sentiment than it really
is. They think
is.
that's a consensus.
Yeah, it was really just one guy.
That implies that any one single person has the ability to shift a narrative because it becomes seen as the consensus.
Dude, it was like that. Who is that? The Kotaku article that called the Streamer Awards racist. Do you guys remember that? There's a Kotaku article that was like, QTCinderella used Pepe as the trophy, and Pepe is a symbol for racism. I was like, that's so embarrassing. You guys are genuinely embarrassing. I was like, number one, it was Peepo. Number two, you guys are embarrassing. Like, the guy who wrote it actually sent me an apology, and I didn't reply. I was like, you guys are so stupid. You guys, like, why even type that narrative? Why? How irresponsible and out of touch are you? Like, just why? It's so insane. So insane.
But the fact that this is like a article clickbait thing takeaway is just so annoying.
Yeah, drama sells.
Is there a difference between Poki and Iman?
I make the distinction between Pokimane and Iman more so as a way to like mentally protect myself from certain things. When people say, oh, Poki is this, Poki is that, I kind of just think to myself, oh, this is just what they think of like Poki and what they've seen of her. And what is she? A collection of moments like in content throughout years on the internet, right? Who am I? A human being with friends and relationships and like so much more that it is impossible for people to
That's a good way to think about it.
But that's not to say that I feel like personality-wise these are two different people. Especially because when you're streaming, like, what am I gonna act for 6 hours,
That'd be world class.
Oh, I know, like, give me the Oscar.
Give that woman a raise. When you were referring to Poki and Iman, you said her for Poki, and you said I for Iman.
That has served me a lot, because then when people say,
oh wow, that's so interesting. Wait, what?
When you were referring to Poki and Iman, you said her for Poki, and you said I for Iman.
That has served me a lot, because then when people say things about Poki, I don't take it personally, and I don't think any creator should.
Wait, this is genius. Someone write this down. Never forget this.
because these people don't know you personally. So their comments, therefore, cannot be personal. However, that doesn't mean that like I won't consider what they say or like take constructive criticism, but I at least compartmentalize it to like my stream or my work or like the content that I'm creating, as opposed to me lying in bed thinking about Joe Smo from Mississippi hating me.
That's something that I think I need to work on as well, is separating the me that people see and then knowing that I am a completely separate person. And I feel like having that username separation there
Joe Mama
probably helps.
If I could do it again, I would be faceless 1000%.
Yeah. Do you feel like people like to minimize others to their mistakes and they like to see them through the lens of, you are mistake 1, 2, 3, 4, nothing else?
Recently, I did a collab video with Anthony Padilla. He posted a photo of us, and I saw quite a few comments about a past mistake. It just hurts to be labeled as someone who uses slurs when it's something that I am
Oh, that's lame. I see.
so vehemently against. Like, one of the comments said that I've said it like numerous times, and that's just not true. I've publicly apologized for this instance many times before, but it just feels like my apology isn't able to reach.
Yeah, I don't get the point of holding something against somebody when they've already apologized, cuz like what do you want? Genuinely, like what do you want? You don't want another apology. You just want to hate her. That's all you want. I don't get it.
People who hear about this for the first time. The clip is from 8 years ago when I was a minor. I've grown and learned so much. And streaming myself throughout that.
It's also like, number one, 8 years ago she was a minor. Also, the world has changed significantly in 8 years. Like, what?
Journey makes me hope that I can be like a good example for people changing and becoming more considerate and becoming a better person.
I can't imagine if I streamed 8 years ago.
I think some people do. I hope that the majority of people don't. If anything, I think it is a much better story to be like, oh, this person made a mistake and still was able to learn and grow from it and achieve all these things. And then you can look at yourself, say, if I make a mistake, like, that's okay. I can still do so much. Like,
it's also crazy to think about. I'm not saying this to throw Ms. Kiff under the bus, but Ms. Kiff got canceled for the same thing. Like, oh, 8 years ago, you said it, you know, like, blah, blah, blah. And then people just, like, move on. Why do they hold Pokimane to that? Like, why don't they let Pokimane live it down? I think, for the record, people do still bring it up to Miz, but I don't think to the extent that they do to Poki. It's so cringe. Like, it's so lame.
Mistakes shouldn't define you as a person.
Encouraging growth?
No
What
way.
What? No, you made one mistake. You were that way.
People love to hate Poki. It's crazy that like any successful female, people just love to hate. People love to hate Amaranth. People love to hate Poki. People love to hate Belle Delphine. People love to hate Kim Kardashian. People love to hate Taylor Swift. Isn't that crazy? I cannot think of like someone that is popular female that people don't love to hate. Beyonce? Oh, you're right, actually. Beyonce is the exception. Ariana Grande? No, people love to hate Ariana Grande. Beyonce and Emma Watson.
What was your childhood like?
I was just like an
Betty White.
internet little nerd since I was, especially like 12. Maple Story days, RuneScape, any MMO I loved. I quite liked my high school years.
Yeah.
My family and I have always been like very academic centric. Had a huge hobby of gaming, which was like my after school secret life.
Why was it secret?
People weren't into gaming then. It was not cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you like one other girl in my high school that gamed regularly. Then I went
That was
on
me
to
too,
study
actually.
engineering, I did programming, I did physics, I did chemical engineering, and you take extra classes than normal, that's when I had the mental breakdown.
So you have had a mental breakdown at some point.
Oh my God, if you're in engineering and you haven't had a mental breakdown, you're not an engineer.
I think if you're existing and you haven't had a mental breakdown.
Dead inside.
I love maths and sciences, and I I wish I still got to do something with that.
What's 14 plus 3?
17. Thank you.
Damn.
Quick math.
Damn.
I made myself have like 2 days of like back-to-back 12-hour classes, and then I would stream like Wednesday, Friday, and then like a weekend day, which kind of worked, but was extremely stressful.
Yeah, that
so
sounds
I
awful.
arrived at like a fork in the road by the end of my second year, and I was like, if I go into my third year, my classes are gonna be so heavy, I will have no time to stream whatsoever. I had like a PowerPoint. I convinced my parents, I'm like, these are my projected incomes.
Wait, so that you would tell them why you're dropping out?
Yeah. You know when you have traditional parents and you want to drop out of school?
You gotta make a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes. Thank God they're like, sweetie, if it makes you happy and it seems like financially it makes enough sense, you could go ahead.
Wait, tell me about the PowerPoint presentation. What did it look like?
I had to graph my income and show them like, these are the sponsorships I had, and so this is how much I've been able to make. And so if I take a year off, worst case scenario, I would save approximately this much money, so at least I would no longer have student debt. I feel like I went about
That's
it
exciting.
pretty reasonably.
Yeah.
It was like a calculated risk. If anyone is like, I don't know how to tell my parents, PowerPoint presentation.
Come back here to the comments in a few years and let us know how it worked.
Yeah.
When did you first start streaming?
I was 17, second semester of my senior year in high school.
When did you...
That's
blow up?
crazy.
21, 22.
So you blew up after dropping
The
everything
timing
else.
was so good. It was almost like I was on a boat and the tide just happened to really rise. Like that's when gaming took off.
Was there a moment when you realized, oh, this could be my career?
During my second year of college, there was a month where my combination of like subscriptions, donations, like people were especially generous and supportive that month, and sponsorships, and I made 5 figures in a month. So I made over $10,000. And when you are a college student,
Yeah, that's insane.
and you know your college debt is like
Yeah.
30K, you're like,
Yeah.
a third of my debt is gone.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, wait, maybe this could be a potential career path for me. Short term, long term, whatever it is, right? And then I started building the PowerPoint, you know?
Yeah, that's when you decided the PowerPoint needed to come out.
Yup.
When the Twitch data leak occurred,
Yeah.
you were referred to as the highest paid female streamer. Before we get more into that,
She's rich.
a quick heads up that we actually had Poki on another episode 3 years ago.
What?
And I spent a day with ASM artists. And we have a bunch
That's
of other episodes
crazy that Poki used to do ASMR.
with some of the biggest names in streaming, like Hassan, Amaranth, Tubbo, Rambo, Wilbur Soot, Carl Jacob,
These are all on the list, chat. We need to watch
and
these.
some upcoming episodes that I don't want to spoil, but Tina Kitten and Nia Chu. But take that to your grave. Do not tell anyone. You could watch those here.
Cutie app. Guys, listen. I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm irrelevant. I said it. I'm brave.
Sure. Or on the completely uncensored
Yarr.
podcast version of the show by clicking the link that I hid down in the description below.
Not
I bet you won't
irrelevant.
find it. And of course, a huge thank you to Purple for continuing to sponsor and support this series. And you might be wondering, why am I so excited about a mattress
Step
company?
acceptance.
Well, let me tell you, Purple mattresses provide incredible comfort
Yeah.
while you sleep by using what they call
Good ad
the
read.
grid, which is this
Go,
revolutionary
Anthony.
ventilated
Go, Purple
design that allows
mattress.
air to flow
Hell
through it so you
yeah.
can stay cool all night without flipping your mother pillow halfway through the night. And that, with most pillows, is what prevents me from getting a thorough night's sleep, feeling like I woke up and my neck was just run over by a semi. You know, it's completely normal shit that I used to deal with. But not anymore, not with Purple, because the grid supports and cushions my head in a harmoniously beautiful way that I had not previously found. And right now, you'll support this series and get 10% off any order of $200 or more by going to purple.com/Padilla and using promo code Padilla.
Padilla.
Again, that's purple.com/Padilla.
Good
And with
ad read,
promo
good ad
code
read.
Padilla, you'll get 10% off any order of $200 or more. Terms apply. Now back to the world of Pokimane. When the Twitch data leak occurred,
Yeah.
Number
You were
569,
referred
everybody.
to as the highest paid female streamer. How do you feel about gender constantly being brought up when noting your successes?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
so
games
cringe.
are for everyone. If you're a kid, if you're in your teens, if you're an adult, if you're like a senior, whoever you are, to me, gaming, it's like reading a book. You're not gonna say, books aren't for me. It's like, you just haven't found a book you like.
It's another form of media.
Exactly. And so that's always kind of been my goal, to show people that when I achieve anything and people relate it to my gender, I take it as a win for my gender, essentially. And
True.
actually, I remember
That's fair.
when I hit 1 million followers on Twitch, the thing that made me the happiest about that milestone was not just that I hit 1 million followers on Twitch, it was that a woman hit 1 million followers on Twitch.
Do numbers affect you? Do you have your view count on?
Oh no. Honestly, at this point I should, but I have it off all the time. To me, I was like, I don't want to treat my audience differently if I have 50 viewers or 5,000 viewers. I think this came from a decision I kind of made when I was watching a certain streamer, and he said something along the lines of like, oh my god, there's only 1,000 people watching, like I'm gonna dip. And I remember feeling like, oh, like I feel
Sad.
bad for all these people watching
Right.
That's me.
whose time
Chat,
they're
there's only
essentially
6,000 of you?
disregarded.
This is annoying.
There are thousands of
Call your
individual
friends.
human beings
Yeah.
who
Get me more.
decided that
Let's
you
go.
were worth their time
If
in
you-
that moment. That's
Come on, guys.
crazy.
Do you feel that pressure to constantly either maintain or climb in
Everybody call a friend.
viewers and sub count and followers?
I think I just do
Open
my
a new
best
tab.
to not let it impact me too much, in the sense that if I'm going to make a decision, I take a moment and think, am I doing this because I like it
Oh,
or because it's
me
fun,
when I
or
play
am I
League.
doing it for the numbers?
Emily,
Once
thank you for the
you
prime.
cross a certain threshold as a Twitch streamer, your viewership depends on how many hours you stream.
This is huge.
I
We went
can't
up one
be
viewer.
an 18-hour Andy every day. I cannot.
Oh, like Hassan?
Is he alive?
Oh,
Is he
barely,
okay? Someone check on that man.
Sour
Do you
Moo,
have
thank you for the 5
viewer
months.
views at all?
Not really. If people like weren't interested in what I had to say, I would just be like, okay, and I'll just move on and do something else. And especially initially, like when you first start gaining traction, you're like, I could lose this at any point, and you feel like you have to work really hard and do all these things. And I think that's to some extent good for motivation, but long term, you feel trapped in that pressure. So what I
Right.
did to combat that was just work really hard on my personal relationships.
Stuff Koga, thank you for the 5
Even if,
gifted.
like, worst case scenario, everybody on the internet decided to wake up and hate me tomorrow. Well, at least I'll still have my best friend and my 2 cats and my family, and like I will go live in that happy bubble,
Yeah.
you know, as a human kind of should.
I think it's tempting though to feel like if this starts to fall, my whole life is destroyed. I lose everything.
I feel like a life should be a bunch of pillars, and your work should be a pillar. It shouldn't be the only pillar,
The less pillars that you have in your life, the
Oh,
more
God.
that each one becomes
the end all be all.
a scary thought of what
Yeah.
happens if
Everything
this one
will fall
collapses.
apart if you only have one pillar.
Hi,
of
Cloud
course,
Pup.
yeah.
Oh, now I'm stressed. Now I'm
What has been
stressed,
your
chat.
most
I only
bizarre
have one
fan
pillar.
interaction?
This guy came up to me. He's like, oh my god, Pokey, do you want to see a magic trick? And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love magic tricks.
Okay. I'm scared of
So-
where this is going, but continue.
Oh,
Hell
pick
yeah,
a
magic
card. He's like,
tricks.
pick a card, any card. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, all right, now kiss the card. I was like, okay. And he's like, put the card back in the deck. And he starts shuffling. You know how they shuffle?
Uh-huh. Just like that. Uh-huh.
And then he's like, all right, now I will find your card. But you need to kiss me for me to find the card that you...
Jesus.
Okay.
And sorry, every time this happens, I feel kind of cool. But
Deal with it.
deal with it. Obviously, I didn't do it. And I was like,
Oh.
what, you think I did it?
Wow, so disappointed.
You think I did it?
Yeah,
You
of
think I'm
course.
that easy?
Of
No.
course.
But I had to give him
That's
props.
awful.
I was like, you
Guys,
had a creative
when
idea
we were
behind
at-
it. Okay,
When
okay.
we were at LCS, I was in line to buy Dippin' Dots with Ludwig and Nemo and myself. And we're standing in line, and this viewer comes up and he goes, hey, you're Nemsko, right? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I was just curious. Are you single? And she just insta lies, and she's like, nope. And he was like, oh, I was just gonna see if you like wanted to get dinner or something. And she's like, yep, sorry, nope. And then he just kind of stands there, and she's like, and he's like, oh, can we take a picture together at least? And she's like, yeah. Yikes. man shot his shot. No, that's not how you shoot your shot. Oh my God, you incels saying shoot your shot. That's not how you shoot your shot, you guys. When one shoots their shot, it's with someone that they know, or if they've talked to, or if they've warmed up. Take this. This is 100% a one-sided conversation. This guy is a complete stranger. Hasn't even said hello to her. Hasn't even had small talk. That's not how you shoot your shot, you guys. How you shoot your shot is like at a bar or something, and you're like talking to a girl and you're getting to know her and she's getting to know you, and then you can say, hey, are you single? You do not start a conversation with someone who you don't even know, like who doesn't know you. He knows her because he watches her and is a fan. That's not shooting your shot. That's like taking advantage of like a weird parasocial dynamic because he can see into her life and she has no clue if this guy's a murderer. It also depends if the guy is hot. He wasn't bad looking. Bro, are you guys self-reporting right now? This is crazy. Oh my God, you're self-reporting. Guys, a fairy tale is not introducing yourself to someone. Guys, what? How you meet people before you shoot your shot is introducing yourself. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, well, let's have a lesson, guys. Okay, would you shoot your shot if a basketball hoop isn't even there? Would you be dribbling a basketball and shoot and there's no hoop?
SAU, to do this, to do that. I'm gonna find your family. People have said the worst of the worst thing, and that's why I have 3 different phone numbers. There was a guy who showed up to our neighborhood and was just like walking around looking for us. And he came across my roommate and he was like, oh, like I know you. You need to take me to Poki. Like we're meant to be. I came down here for her. My roommate texts us and he's like, this guy is like walking around looking for Poki. I remember when I first heard and I didn't know what was going on. Like this random guy is walking around our neighborhood and he flew down here from somewhere to find me.
And he's asking for you by name.
I was streaming at the time. I ran to my door, I locked it, and I streamed all night because I was like, if this guy finds me and tries to do something scary, at least, you know, I'll be streaming so people will see what happens.
That's crazy.
At least it'll be documented
scared.
on the internet
yes,
forever.
I know. How kind of crazy.
I wouldn't have done. That's interesting. Would you rather? Because sometimes stream is like. So you think of like people who get swatted, like people swat because they want to see the reaction on stream. So I wonder if that enticed the guy at all. Like, oh, I'm going to walk in there while she's live. So it's either you can be live and protect yourself because if they don't want to see themselves on camera, but it also could encourage them. But also you can't really do anything to stop them. Oh, that's so scary.
I try to do what I can to have like reasonable security precautions. If I'm gonna live in an apartment, it's a place with like 24/7 security, with like front door service. You cannot get to certain rooms without a fob, like things like that. That's why I haven't invested in like real estate or looked into really getting a house, because that's like a commitment. And what if that house address gets leaked? You're done for.
Move.
Yeah.
So I just move lease to lease to different places.
You have to be ready to pack up and move if if your number or address
Which
is
sucks commitment wise, but the security is kind of worth it.
Yeah.
Dating.
I am a 25-year-old who's interested in people.
Whoa, wait, you date people? I've seen articles that are like, oh, Poki's dating this person. Is she dating this person? Why won't she talk about her dating life?
I'm dating them all.
People want to know about your dating life. Do you purposely keep that separate?
I had seen so many instances where people would try to accredit a female streamer's success to their male partner.
You know what's crazy? Is I literally last night, I don't know if I should say this. I think I could say this. Last night I was talking about like moving to YouTube. Like, would you ever move to YouTube? Blah, blah, blah. Like I was talking to my agent about it and I was like, no, I will never move to YouTube. And she's like, why? We can get you a lot of money. And I'm like, well, because the harassment since Ludwig left the platform has gone down significantly. Genuinely. Like, people harassing me because of Ludwig. And I said that, and Ludwig was like, oh, that's mean. And I was like, no, it wasn't directed at you. Like, you can, my mods, like, Tony was the first one to say, yeah. Like, it's been significant that I feel like if I went to YouTube, not only then would it be the YouTube guy, then I'm the YouTube girl again. And it's like, but then he was like, I think it's maybe down because of the streamer awards and because, like, you know, you've kind of made a bigger name for yourself. And I'm like, I think it's the same as like hot tub streams. Like, once hot tub streams was moved out of the section, it like is another filter that people who want to harass have to go through. And the more filters, like, the better. So I do think it's a mix. Sometimes he doesn't realize how much his chat bleeds over. I think used to, at least. Used to. Because it'd just be the shitters. It's not like his nice community. Because Ludwig has a really, really great, like, core community. It's just the shitters that are like, LOL, Ludwig's girlfriend. And it's just like, fuck, dude. Like, shit. When I jack, thank you for the 3 months. In any other world, I think I would probably take the money and skip over. But seeing the harassment go from what it was to what it is now has been insanely great. Warrior, thank you for the prime. Yeah, usually police can, like, put you on a list if you're, like, famous, where they call you first, and if you don't answer, then they SWAT or something like that. So it helps a ton because they're celebrities. So if, like, Snoop Dogg calls, they're like, okay, Snoop Dogg. But if, like, XQC were to call, they're like, who? Like, micro niche internet celebrities are nothing to, like, the LAPD. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A lot of celebrities don't even have armed security. It just doesn't happen to them.
In the industry. Like, yeah, that's just this person's girlfriend. And I was like, you know what?
You can still get swatted in gated communities, people say.
Date anyone publicly ever, so anything that I do accomplish cannot be accredited to anyone else but myself. And
yeah, I think that's dope
now
of Poki.
that I've grown, it's become more so like kind of a different issue where it's like, I am so in the public eye, even if I were to be in a relationship, that person would need to be okay with also being in the public eye. And that's a lot to ask of people. Maybe someday I'll feel comfortable.
It also sucks because anyone Poki ever dates, even if they're a normie, will just forever be known as, like, Poki's boyfriend.
Enough, and I would need to make sure that my partner doesn't care too. Like, that's a big question mark in that regard.
Yeah. What is next for Pokimane?
Any crumbs?
You got a little crumb? Feed me, mommy.
Ugh, I hate that.
Actually, you're hungry, so
I am pretty hungry, so I am saying feed me, mommy to someone, but it's not you, I promise.
I did start a channel called Iman, I-M-A-N-E, where, as I said, I just, like, post whatever, and I feel like this is something that no matter how involved I am in, like, streaming and gaming, no matter what, this is an outlet for me to, like, connect with people and kind of showcase myself. I recently started, like, a management kind of firm.
For other streamers?
We help guide them through the process. We help events, experiences, all of that.
What is it about doing what you do that brings you the most joy?
Since day one, it's always been being able to connect with other people. And
that's actually funny, Brotonic. Incels are weird. They say she's ugly and also that she's only famous because she's pretty.
You can feel like you make someone happy or that you can be a positive influence on their day. It's like there's something so gratifying about that. It's like it's because of those people and they really uplift me so much. Like the kind of sweet messages that I receive, just I've cried over those.